Hello Capricorn, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free, doesn't cost you anything. If there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. We start with the Four of Cups. Interesting. It's good. It's good. It's okay. It's not great. It's a boat that's not sinking, and that's always good news. But it's not very exciting either, right? This is kind of like we're staying safe in our little cove. We're staying here where the emotions, where the waters are calm. But it's kind of boring too, right? Let's see what's going on there. We got the Hanged Man. Interesting. We've got the World or Universe, the Ten of Cups, an Ace. Ace of Pentacles, and a Nine of Cups. Interesting. Interesting. I see something changing here for you. And we've got the really deep waters of the Queen of Cups, Five of Cups, the High Priestess, and one of your power cards. This is the Knight of Pentacles. This is the Cardinal Earth energy. This is the Capricorn archetype activated in action. Okay? And that's things have changed, and I think are continuing to change. And we're going to try to find out why. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. We're just going to set it down over here. We're going to put Tiny Bob Ross right on top. Happy little Bob. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need. All right. If at any point during the reading you have an idea or a feeling that you might know what that card is, put a prediction down in the comments. All right, let's do it together. Let's make it an exercise in intuition. All right, let's get started. Major Arcana, yes, we do have some. We've got the Universe, the Hanged Man, and the High Priestess. Now, the High Priestess is in the difficult position here. And I think this is really kind of a card that says you got to trust in yourself. I think that there is this feeling like that a happier life is out there for you. This is kind of this is a card that's kind of promising you that on the other side of this choice is going to be much greener pastures. Okay? But it requires you to believe in yourself and to trust in yourself. Now, this is not the first time today that I've had the Hanged Man and the High Priestess together. They're almost mirror images. It kind of feels like the Hanged Man is not trusting yourself, while the High Priestess is trusting yourself. But it's a little bit different. Because now the Hanged Man is maybe not trusting in self, trusting in universe, right? Trust falling into the universe, saying whatever happens is meant to be, whatever, wherever the energy flows is where I'm supposed to be, right? And that's usually a pretty good way to go about it, right? You don't want to fight the river. You want to go with the flow, right? But what if what your intuition is telling you is different than kind of what's happening around you in this kind of go with the flow attitude? What if there's conflict there? I think that's what we've got with this Five of Cups. Now, we're starting with the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is kind of, again, it's water that's not moving. It's just kind of things are good, things are okay. This is what the universe has provided for me. This is what I'm going to be okay with. I'm just going to resign myself to this little cove of emotions. And I think that there's something else going on, because what we might be perceiving in this moment as going with the flow of the universe, trust falling with the universe, might just be the ego's way of avoiding another Ten of Cups situation. I think the Ten of Cups back here was a dream come true, but I think it got spoiled, right? This was almost setting up expectations that were unrealistic. Now, I don't mean that we shouldn't set the bar very, very high. I think what this was a situation we thought we wanted. And you put in a lot of work to get there. Once you got there, maybe we didn't like it. Maybe we realized, not for me anymore. And so this, I think, has caused a little bit of this idea of, I'm not going to try to choose anything. I'm not going to try to do anything anymore. I'm just going to let things happen. Right? I'm just going to trust fall into the universe, go with the flow, and whatever happens, happens. Because the last time you worked towards something, you got there and it wasn't what you thought, or it was spoiled, it was ruined. You realized that you put in all this effort and it just wasn't right. This is when you think you want to go to the buffet, but once you get there and you eat all the food, you're just like, God, why did I decide to do that? So now we've got this kind of resignation that I'm just going to go with the flow of the universe. But what if the water's not flowing? Right? There's no movement here. So rather than you're going with the flow, now you're just sitting in a lukewarm bath. Okay? And maybe we're saying that this is me just kind of going with the flow. However, I think our intuition is telling us something else. And we look over here, we see that Five of Cups, we see the flow. But this is originating from within us, okay? Because I think you've been in this kind of position for a little while, right? A New York minute, I think, is what they say, right? Isn't that one, it takes longer, I think? I don't know. I've probably just pissed off a lot of people from New York. This is a situation that has started to kind of crystallize around you. The world or universe card underneath everything has this feeling to me like, this has gone on too long, right? We may be saying that, I'm just going with the flow and trusting the universe, and whatever happens, happens. It was meant to be. But I think deep down we know that something has got to move. Something has got to change. Yeah. And I think we're at that point of change right now. I think things are changing, and this is why. Because you're hearing this high priestess calling to you louder and louder and louder. And I think it's trying to wake you back up to this vision that you have, what you really want in your life. Now, see, we've got our major arcana, and usually I go through the elements of a reading, right, just so we can kind of see where the imbalance is. We've got our major arcana, all right. We don't have any fire. We got a lot of water. A lot of water. Got no air. We've got our earth energies. Now, even the world or universe card, it's an earth card, but it's also Saturn. So there's this element of kind of restriction, of limits. There's this idea of kind of an underlying sadness or melancholy. Right? It's not happiness. It's just, it's resigning ourselves to this kind of tepid life. We need some fire in here. And incidentally, the Knight of Pentacles is the cardinal earth. It is fire of earth. So Spirit is trying to wake you back up to your own fire energy. Now, we've got the one versus the many in this situation too, accepting the will of the world and just whatever kind of comes my way is what's meant for me. That kind of leaves you open to people taking advantage of you emotionally as well as, financially or whatever. The ace here at the top, now, this is where you're starting to change your perception. And I think you're in the middle of this change right now. And you're starting to make these kind of willful decisions. You're starting to say, no, I'm not just going to accept whatever comes my way, which is, it's a good energy to have. We want to go with the flow of the universe. But at the same time, we want to also have free will, right? We also want to make decisions and feel like we can have some sort of direction over our life. It's kind of two opposing views, and I think the balance needs to be struck in the middle there, right? So this is you not accepting whatever comes your way, whoever comes your way. This is you going out and finding your way, making your way, step by step, day by day, right? I think that's a theme song for a TV show. Oh man, I need to get some sleep. You're taking a step toward this Nine of Pentacles. I mean, God, see, I really do need sleep. Nine of Cups. You're taking 9 steps toward your happiness here. And this is fulfillment on the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual creative levels. Right? And this is different than the 10, right? Because the 10 was kind of this expectation that we would find this perfect situation and then it would be absolutely wonderful and there'd never be a problem again in life. And we got something here, whether this was a relationship, whether this was progress in a career. We got there, wherever there was. We realized that it wasn't fulfilling us. It didn't do it. It was not what we expected, not what we thought. But see, now we have this idea of, rather than going after this ideal and this perfect state, this perfect structure of energy, we're going after the process of energy. Now we're understanding that life is in the living. We are the process, not the product, right? So we want a 9 of Cups and we want to continue to take steps toward that. That is happiness. That is following your bliss. That is pursuing happiness. Right? We're always looking to continue to fill these cups up. Never this feeling like, if I just had that one job or that one relationship, if I can just succeed in this thing, then everything would be fine. Well, you succeeded in all of that, and it wasn't fine. Right? And maybe that's because you then had nothing else to kind of motivate you, nothing else to strive for. You overate at the buffet, and you didn't want to eat any food ever again. So the 9 of Cups is very important. This shows you that there is this process of happiness out there. It's kind of the dream that keeps on dreaming, right? It's the happiness that keeps on happening. It's not just eating as much as you can and, kind of getting sick over it. Let's go to the path of the serpent now. And as I do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Totally free, doesn't cost you anything. And leave some comments for me. I really do love reading about where all of you are from. Our audience here spans the entire globe, and it's really fascinating to me to see that. Okay, so anyway, we've got the Queen of Cups here. This is really... This is a lot of self-exploration, right? I think this situation here, with all this water energy that we see, this is all water, Hanged Man's water, right? A 10 to a 4, and now maybe we're starting to take a risk now. We're starting to get out there and go after our 9. Go after our 9 of Cups, Someone told me that there was, I think, an Olympic gymnast in 1976 that got a perfect 10 in some event or something. And, because I always say that the perfect 10 is not possible. What we can strive for, we strive for the perfect 10, we get like a 9.5, and that is the sweet spot, right? Because I think you get that perfect 10, and then it's over. Then there's nothing else nothing else to achieve, right? And I think that the Queen of Cups here is you understanding that. You are appreciating that your waters run infinitely deep, right? That you never really are going to get to the bottom. You're never going to get to the top, to the perfect 10. And you don't want to. Every time you get to a 10, it's like the goalpost moves a little further out. You realize, oh, I'm only at a 9. Better keep going. Because you're always discovering deeper and deeper parts of yourself, of your desires, of your spiritual evolution, of your path. The path never ends, right? Spiritual evolution doesn't have a final stage, a final goal. There's no end zone, right? You get to the end zone, you realize there's still more field. You get to the top of the mountain, Capricorn, you realize the summit's still a few hundred feet up. It's a continuous process, and that's where we find that life. That's where we find the robustness of life, the fire. And we need to bring that fire back. Yeah. So I think you're diving down into your own depths to find the fire, right? It's kind of counterintuitive, but I think it's really because of this friction that's being created with the 5 here. Now things are moving. Now you're understanding, I don't have to be content with this. I'm not going with the flow if there's no flow. You can bring that same energy over here and link it up with the, they can hold hands, the High Priestess and the Hanged Man. You can go with the flow if it's flowing, and you've got to make it flow. Right? And using this Queen of Cups to say, hey, I'm not content with things. I'm not happy here. So we're extending our hand, our reach, our grasp, our soul, our sight into this 9 of Cups. And these are odd numbers, right? The Ace, the 9, and the 5. They're odd numbers. So they indicate functions, motion, processes. Well, we've got the 10 and the 4, which indicate stable structures, neither of which were very satisfying to us, right? You accomplish something, I don't want it anymore. It's like a kid who begs and begs and begs for a toy. We get the toy and we think, it's in the wanting, it's in the striving, it's in the struggling that we have that excitement and that fire, right? I remember that feeling as a kid, working really hard to get some kind of a toy, or you beg your parents, or you got to do chores or whatever, saving up your money, doing the work to get it. That was the meaningful experience. Once you get, I don't even remember what the toys were. Once you get it, play with it for a minute, you're like, okay, I want that pursuit. Yeah, the pursuit of happiness. So you got to agitate the waters a little bit. And I think this is really, it's affecting some of your relationships, I think, because you might be feeling a little bit frustrated and maybe a little short-tempered at times, more than usual, because you are stirring up the water. So your emotions, your moods might be fluctuating, quite often lately. But we're really working towards something here because we're getting this Knight of Pentacles back. And this is your spiritual vision. This is your sight. This is the Capricorn archetype activated. Now you can see the future. Now you understand the process. You can see the end zone, right? But you know that the closer you get, you look up again, and it's even further back. And that's what you want, right? You have the imagination, you have the fire, you have the spiritual sight, you have the vision to keep aspiring to more, greater heights of spiritual attainment, of physical progress, of love, the depth of love and connection, whatever you want in life. Whether this is something career-related, family, friends. This isn't a career reading. This is not a love reading. This is a life reading. And this is saying that you always have goals and you're always setting the bar higher and higher and higher. And this is really good. I say we take a look at the mystery card now. Yeah. Let's see what Tiny Bob Ross has for us. Thank you, Bob. Happy little Bob. I don't want to see any more water. I notice that we don't have any air energy here. So it's not something that you're really intellectualizing. It's not anything really that you have to think about. It's feeling. It's intuition. I want fire here, I think. We need some active energy. Literally all we have is very passive energy. Water and earth, right? Passive, magnetic kind of elements. We need something to assert ourselves, right? So we've got a little fire here in the earth, and that's good. Right? That kind of is telling us the first steps that we need to take in order to move into this Nine of Cups way of living. But maybe we need some fire here. I would take an Ace of Swords. Maybe I would take a Six of Swords too, but I want some fire. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. We're going to take a look. Oh, the Knight of Pentacles again. So this is, again, if we have the same card here. It's a reinforcing of this energy, saying that you have to wake up your imagination. You've got to agitate the waters and wake this fire up. You have the vision, right? You have the vision, you take the steps. You look up again and you reassess your vision. You make changes, you push it back, you expand it, right? And then we keep going. You have to have the vision, put your head down and go to work. Then you look back up and you reassess. This is the fire that is going to move mountains. Why are you moving the mountain? Well, so that you can go approach it again, right? So that you have a destination. That's why you're moving the mountain. You're moving the goalpost. You're moving the summit of Everest a little bit higher every time you look. Yeah. It's really important. I think your intuition is calling you. I think you got to trust yourself on this one. All right. Agitate these waters. We're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, click either above or below in the video description. That'll give you access to all of the extended readings, not just for Capricorn, but for every sign. I am here every day from 6 to 8 a.m. Chicago time. Come back and see me again tomorrow. Right. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.